Why has NASCAR not modified the Auto Club Speedway until now? Is NASCAR unconcerned about this? First considered in 2021, then the pandemic hit, and now it's 2023. So when will the Speedway be back on track? So, Nascarians, don't go anywhere as we discuss more on this on NASCAR Zone. But before we dive into that, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. According to sources in public papers, Adam Stern, NASCAR has closed on a large real estate sale of dozens of acres of property on the site of Auto Club Speedway. This is one of the reasons why this weekend's action was the final on the track in its current 2-mile format. 433 of the 533 acres that make up the property on which the racetrack is built have been put up for sale in order to generate cash. NASCAR has been collaborating with Ross Perot Jr. since the year 2020 to sell its real estate around the United States in an effort to discover new revenue streams and make better use of its land assets. There has been no public release of the official prices associated with the sale of the Auto Club Speedway to Hillwood. In preparation for the construction of a short track, NASCAR has reserved a portion of the Auto Club Speedway for its use. The decision has not yet been sanctioned by a higher authority. The future of NASCAR in the Southern California region appears to be dismal, despite the fact that plans are now being made to renovate the Auto Club Speedway. The D-shaped oval track that spans 2 miles and is located in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains is a fan favorite among drivers of all types. The Auto Club Raceway has played host to 33 Cup Series races since it initially opened its doors in 1997. The races held at Fontana Speedway have never been described as being dull. The course presents drivers with a number of possibilities to pass one another, and also presents a challenge to the driver in terms of maintaining tire wear. The driver's ability to control the vehicle is put to the test by the undulations on the backstretch, as well as the rough asphalt. Kyle Larson, who has won at the Auto Club Speedway twice, made the following statement: "Since there are so many different lanes to choose from, none of us are required to stay in the same one the whole time. This surface is quite ancient and worn out. Although it makes things a bit more complicated in the cockpit, it's a lot of fun overall." And Asia Allmendinger discussed the difficulties that the course presents to the drivers as follows.
Well, I can tell you for sure the wall hurts in both cars. So, unfortunately, I've experienced that. But, yeah, I mean, I agree, it's bittersweet. It's a racetrack. I felt like, over my time that I've raced there, it seemed like, as it aged, the racing just got super good there. And I think as drivers, we all love it because it wears the tires out. You're slipping and sliding around. It's multiple groove, or you're running on the apron there, and it just puts on great racing. And I think all of us have thoroughly enjoyed it, especially really feel like the last 10 years, all of a sudden it just kind of flipped where we just put on such great finishes there. And yeah, it's one of those racetracks where you understand that something's got to change because the pavement's so old, and eventually you either repave it and the great racing goes away, or you reconfigure it and try something new. But it's a place that I think if you poll all the drivers, we really love it. And looking forward. I didn't get to run it there last year in the Cup car, and I ran it on the simulator and realized I probably can't eat lunch before the race because it was trying to move my insides around. It's so bumpy down the back straightaway, but it's character like that on racetracks that make it really good. So yeah, hopefully we can have a really strong run there, and at least if I win, could I have like some of the pavement or something, just half the racetrack or something, just load it up in the hauler?
We can make that happen.
All right,
yeah,
perfect.
Not a problem.
In recent years, fans have voiced their desire for a greater number of shorter tracks and a reduction in the number of 1.5-mile and 2-mile speedways. On the other hand, the drivers have a good time competing on tracks like the Southern California Speedway, which is located in Fontana, California. According to Corey LaJoy, "I think that what the drivers prefer a lot of times isn't what the fans go up in droves to witness. The Fontana racetrack is one of my favorites. It has a lot of personality because of the fact that it can run on 5 lanes at once, that it can go on the fence, and it can conserve some tire pressure. But then again, it also plays into a stretched-out race with not a ton of passes, not a lot of cars close together, which for the viewers on TV they do not necessarily appreciate it. According to Cole Custer,
Yeah, I mean, I always look forward to Fontana. It's always been a good track to me. Obviously, we've won 2 races there in the Xfinity cars, so it's always been good to me, and it's always been one of my favorite tracks. Just how you're able to, it's fast, it's wore out, you're slipping and slide around. You have a lot of options as a driver, so you're able to figure out something maybe better than the next guy, and how to figure out how to get around him and everything. So it's always been a fun track for me. And coming back home, it means a ton too. Obviously, this year with the Xfinity cars, there's a little bit of a rule change. So we're kind of taking that in and trying to figure out what we need for this weekend. But we've done a lot of digging. We've worked really hard on it, and now we just got to see how everything unfolds.
Chase Briscoe shared his opinion that Auto Club is just so entertaining from a driver's standpoint because it's so fluid. It's past its prime. It's not easy. You simply move around in circles. On the racetrack, you can run literally anywhere, although doing so is made far easier with the next-gen car. I was under the impression that it was a race course for those cars that have been very carefully constructed, so you can imagine how disappointed I am. My impression is that it is one of the courses where the driver may have a significant contribution to the outcome of the race. Ryan Blaney is of the same opinion.
I definitely care. I wish they'd leave it. I think you talk to any driver who's going to come through there, they're going to tell you the same thing. That place is one of the funnest, coolest racetracks that we go to. We all said the same about Atlanta. We all said the same about Chicago and Texas. And they've evolved and they've changed. So I hate to see that place go. I'm sure the half mile is going to be, it'll be fun, it'll be different, but that place is so unique and the drivers have so much fun there and it puts on great racing. It's just a shame that something like that is going to only have its last year, next week. So it'd be a big emphasis trying to win in the last one at the 2 mile.
When Penske first built the Speedway in 1997, the facility, which was state-of-the-art at the time and was known as California Speedway at the time, even provided a fitness room for the drivers to use. It marked NASCAR's return to the highly desirable Los Angeles market, which the organization had lost in 1988 when the well-known Riverside International Raceway road course ceased operations after operating for 33 years. The Ontario Motor Speedway in Ontario, California, which included a 2.5-mile track and was the site of Dale Earnhardt's maiden NASCAR championship, closed after barely a decade of operation 8 years earlier. In both instances, the racetracks were demolished to make way for commercial and residential construction. Currently, developers consider the land surrounding Auto Club Speedway, which is located approximately 50 miles east of Los Angeles, to be of exceptionally high value. This is especially true when it comes to weighing the land worth against the attendance numbers. The Speedway's first race was a huge success and completely sold out, but once they added a second race in 2004, attendance started to drop off significantly. In 2011, the grandstand seating capacity was lowered from 92,000 to 68,000 seats, and the second race was eliminated in the same year. After the final lap of the Palo Casino 400 this Sunday, the Auto Club Speedway will be torn down in the weeks that follow in order to make room for a brand new beginning. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us in the comments what you think about the video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.